Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Wanted Fugitives, your Crime Stopper show. I'm your host, Sergeant Melony Peterson.
And I'm Amber Southard.
And thank you for watching. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas holidays and New Year.
Yes, I know I did. It was a lot of fun, and that little break that you get, and you get to celebrate with family. Nothing's better than that.
Absolutely. But the good news is even though it was the holidays, the sheriff's office, along with the help of all the Crime Stopper tips, they were still busy arresting people.
They were still rolling in. Didn't matter what time of year it was.
That's right. And these are just a few of the arrested fugitives that we got over the holidays. Welcome back, everybody. Well, like we were saying, we still were very busy over the holidays.
Yeah, and you know what? Even though we might have taken some time off, those Crime Stoppers out there didn't.
No, not one bit. We had a great month, as a matter of fact. For the month of December, we shelled out $1,800 in Crime Stopper rewards. That was pretty awesome.
That is a pretty good month.
Yeah, and you know, I always say, even though the holidays are past, now all the rewards that we'll be paying out will be recovery for Christmas.
That's it. You know, people are waiting on those tax returns, your bank statements kind of looking at you, and
That's right.
What a better way to supplement some cash there.
Absolutely. And now that we're back on air, we're doing things a little bit different. The segments, every show that we will feature will also be the individuals on our wheel.
Oh, that's true.
So I think that that's really a good thing, and so it does kind of give everybody a little bit of background where we don't really have the chance to talk about it.
That's true, and it's kind of a double whammy for them. Not only, you know, are you seeing them, they might not even be the winner on the wheel, but you kind of see their face spin by. Now you get to kind of learn a little more about who all is
the back history.
Yes.
Before we get started, we do want to remind everybody that all of these fugitives and deadbeat parents are wanted as of January the 4th. We also want to remind of anyone out there that's never provided a tip to Crime Stoppers. We have 3 convenient ways. First, of course, they can call the call center at 433-STOP. That place never closes. Keep in mind it is out of Texas, but they are a call center, and you know, it's very convenient. You can also go directly to the Gulf Coast Crime Stoppers webpage itself, and that's gulfcoastcrimestoppers.org. Right-hand corner, you can click on Submit a Tip. And then Amber, our favorite.
It's my favorite. I love to text a tip. I mean, you don't have to go through anything.
That's right.
It's easy, and it's for iPhone or Android devices.
That's right. P3 tips. I mean, it just doesn't get much more simple than that.
And you can take a picture of the person if you think, you know, don't try to be seen, but like if you think you can, you're in a grocery store or something, and you can snap a pic, you can submit it right there with that. How great is that?
and it's very simple process. Of course, it's 100% anonymous, but as long as your tip is the tip that was utilized to assist law enforcement, and you know it was a good tip, then you're going to get a reward. Our rewards go up to $3,000.
That's you can't beat that. It's easy money. It's not taxed. Nobody even has to know that you did it. How easy?
Very simple. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. Our first wanted fugitive of this week is Kishwan Abrams. He's 29 years old. He's wanted for aggravated battery, and he has a no bond, Amber. So
you know, that aggravated battery, no bond, but it would be easy for people to identify him because he's got all those tattoos on his neck. We like the facial and neck tattoos because they just stand out more in a crowd.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people have faces where it's kind of like, oh, you may not be. Those tattoos never lie.
That's right, and they don't change.
No.
It's something that you can't just, you know, unless you got
That's why you got them. They're permanent.
They're permanent. Our next wanted fugitive is Marcy Andrews. Marcy is 46 years old. She's 5'3", 155 pounds. She's wanted for passing counterfeit instrument. She's a bond of $10,000. So hide your checkbook.
That's right. And at that age, she knew better.
Absolutely.
You know what's in your bank account. You know it. It's just.
You know what you do and you don't have in there. Okay, our next one, a fugitive, is Darius Bedgood. Darius is 5'3", 150 pounds. He's 32 years old, and he's wanted for grand theft. And Darius has a bond of $10,000.
Let me tell you something he didn't steal was a shirt.
Right?
He needs a shirt.
Good call. Yeah, Darius, you need to tighten up.
Yeah.
And you know, we've talked about this many times. We have seen where grand thefts, your counterfeits, passing bad checks, thefts, identity fraud. It's really a common occurrence. So
yeah,
you know, again, I know Sheriff is always saying, you know, lock your doors. Make it hard for these criminals.
Yeah, don't make it easy for them to be able to rip you off in any way like that. Listen to the signs. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And lock your stuff up. Don't let them be able to grab your credit cards or your purse. Another thing, in the grocery stores, I see a lot of women, and I've done it myself. You put your purse right there in the top of the buggy. They can come by, grab that. Next thing you know, they've got all your information from there. So just the little things, setting your purse in a chair when you go out to eat, or even men, you might have your wallet might be poking out of the top of your jeans or your jacket pocket.
Absolutely.
And just don't make it easy for them.
That's great advice. So there you go. We hope you be a little bit more aware of that. Our next one, a fugitive, of course, is Bob Boone. Bob is 5'6", 145 pounds. 48 years old, and he's wanted for grand theft, dealing, and stolen property. Again, got a bond of $2,000.
You know, I do like the alliteration we got going on, Bob Boom Bond.
Yeah.
But other than that, Bob, you should have known better. You know, Bob's taking things from people. We don't like that. If you recognize Bob Boom, please do him a favor and turn him in.
Absolutely. Next is Nicholas Depew. Nicholas is 6 foot, 190 pounds. He's 36. Wanted for burglary and grand theft with a bond of $20,000.
That's a pretty high bond there.
Yeah. I mean, and again, this is something that we'll continue to preach, but a lot of these crimes can be reduced by simple measures taken by you, locking doors, keeping an eye on your property. Next up will be Victor Durden II. Victor is 5'6", 150 pounds. He's 28 years old, and Victor, just like Nicholas, is wanted for burglary and grand theft. And Victor's bond is $17,500.
Victor Durden, that sounds familiar. He may have been a winner on the wheel, or we put him up on our Facebook page for something else. But I remember that name, Victor Durden. It was a very, it's a different name. You don't hear it every day. So. He seems to be a familiar face around here, at least around the ECSO. Yeah,
and it's a shame that they're repetitive, but you know, we always got that prize package available.
That's it.
Next up will be Stephen Dumas. Stephen is 5'10", he's 150 pounds, 31 years old, and he's wanted for robbery, obstructing justice. And Stephen was on probation at the time, so now he has a violation. Of course, that carries a no bond, but on those secondary charges, his bond's $22,500.
So Stephen was already in trouble and decided, you know what, I'm not in enough trouble. Let me see what else I can do. I just don't.
Let me make more problems for myself.
I don't. You know what? Let's get Stephen off the streets. Apparently, he can't help himself, and he's turning victims left and right. So that's just not okay.
Time for an intervention.
That's it.
Next up, we have Joshua Maldonado. He's 5'4", 120 pounds, 28 years old, and Joshua is wanted for grand theft. Joshua has a bond of $2,500. And again, as much as I hate this, you know, just seeing a list, just reviewing some of the active warrants in our county where all you're seeing is grand thefts, burglaries, you know, passing forged items. It's just... 'Tis
the season, though. You know, we were talking about the holiday season as some of the better time for criminals because we make it so easy. We're out shopping, we're adding more to our homes and everything else, and just they're lighting up. I mean, they're seeing those Christmas boxes on the side of the street. They know what you got for Christmas. They know that your home's a target. Just, you know, take those precautions. You know, just watch out for yourself, watch out for your property, watch out for your loved ones, because people like Joshua, they're looking for victims.
They sure are. And Amber has said this many times, but she's right. You know, you don't want to make it easy for them. Protect your property. Next wanted fugitive is Chrissy McMillan. She's 5'3", 188 pounds. She's 37 years old, and Chrissy is wanted for aggravated battery. Oh. And when she committed that aggravated battery, she was already on probation, and she has a violation of probation. And of course, with those two charges combined, she has no bond.
So this is something we like to bring up too. With Chrissy, obviously the aggravated battery means that she's a violent criminal. So if you do see Chrissy out there, you recognize her, do not approach her.
Absolutely
do not approach anybody that you see on any of our shows, because they could be dangerous. Chrissy's obviously, it has been dangerous in the past.
She has some anger issues.
She's got some anger issues. So leave it to the professionals. Call 911, call PPD, call the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Let the professionals know that you see Chrissy. That way they can come out. Call Crime Stoppers. That way they can be dispatched out there, come out there and do what they're trained to do. That way you're not putting yourself in any kind of harm or anybody that you might be with at the time.
That's right. Our next wanted fugitive is Alasia McPherson. Alasia's 5'4", 231 pounds, 30 years old, and Alasia's wanted for grand theft and fraud with a bond of $2,500. And somebody out there, you know, they have seen Alasia. They probably know Alasia. If you call Crime Stoppers, she won't know it.
She'll have no idea, and you'll collect that bond. You know, I like her name though, Alasia. That's a pretty name, and it's fun to say. So if you do know her, it'll be really great if you call Crime Stoppers and say that you know where Alasia is.
Because believe it or not, you are helping them. Even if you're related or they're your friend or your neighbor, in the long run, you're helping them because, I mean, number one, they're going to have to go to court regardless of the active warrant. Everybody gets picked up sooner or later, and she doesn't have to look over her shoulder.
And that's what I was I was about to say that. That's just, if you're friends with Alasia, you're a family member, you don't want her living her life being paranoid 24/7. Oh my gosh, is the sheriff's office or PPD or whatever law enforcement behind me right now, kind of ducking and dodging. That's no way to live. You don't want to be that way. So you'd be helping her, hopefully maybe get her life back on track and, you know, start an honest living and not have to have that paranoia or worry about any of that anymore. So do the right thing, help her out.
There you go. Our next wanted fugitive is Jessica Raspberry. Jessica is 5'8". She's 128 pounds, 30 years old. And this is really sad. She's wanted for neglect of a child without great bodily harm, and she has a bond of $20,000.
When children are involved, I can't. That is, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. You brought them into this world. Your job is to take care of them, and you didn't. You failed them. And they're children and they're innocent. And I hope anybody out there that notices Jessica Raspberry, sees her, knows her, anything like that, don't think about your friendship with her. Don't think about, oh, you know, we used to hang out back in the day. She's a good person. Think about that child that had to suffer. And I hope you do the right thing, and I hope Jessica does the right thing. I hope she turns herself in.
Our next wanted fugitive is Stephen Romero. Stephen is 6 foot, 275, 67 years old, and failure to appear, and has a no bond. And I think we just got a signal that we're about to get ready to go to a break.
We are, but I want people to take a good look at Stephen Romero's picture. If you know him, he's got that no bond on him. That's a big deal. When a judge issues a no bond, that's so.
He ain't happy.
And what they can do through commercial break, if they want to, they can go check out the Crime Stoppers website.
Absolutely. Great idea. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you got a chance to check out that website. We also want to encourage everyone to go on Facebook and, of course, like the Gulf Coast Crime Stoppers webpage. Like us, invite your friends to like us.
We've also got the Escambia County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. We post things every day with people that may be wanted, or we might be asking for your help, or just all around good things in the community that our deputies are doing out there that you just might want to see. Also, the Pensacola Police Department's Facebook page, they do the same as we do. They are posting things that are kind of funny, and they've got their wanted people out there they need help with, or they're missing people. So please like all three if you're in our area. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, because those websites alone, and I, of course, you know, I check them daily, but we're very lucky because even our production, they make sure that, you know, the community's informed, fully informed. You know of events coming up. So I just think it's a great website.
That's right. We've got a bunch of events coming up later that we'll talk about in the show. I know the Pensacola Police Department has a Coffee with a Cop that's coming up soon. So please go ahead, like those pages, and know the events that are going on in your community.
Absolutely. Well, Amber, with that being said, we've got 3 more wanted fugitives, and then we're going to turn it over to you. That next wanted fugitive is Hanny Showman. Hanny is 6'2". He's 275 pounds, 44 years old, and he is wanted, unfortunately, for failure to appear. And he doesn't have a bond. He made a bad decision not to go.
So his last name's Showman, but he did not show for his court date.
No, he did not.
A no-show.
A no-showman.
That was, yeah. He might need to change his last name. And you know what? Judges hate that. They hate that more than anything else. You're just harming yourself more by just simply not showing up to an appointment that's been discussed and scheduled.
And I always say everything, especially with a court date, communication. You know, go. Let them know your situation. It's going to catch up to you anyway. So you might as well go and get it and address it.
Ignoring it never helps.
No.
These are things that don't just go away from ignoring.
Exactly. So our next wanted fugitive is John Tubb. John is 6'1". He's 180 pounds. He's 31 years old. And he's wanted for fraud, burglary, and dealing in stolen property. John has a bond of $4,000, and I've made a bad joke about this several times, but you know, dealing in stolen property, that is, it's just, you've already proved your own guilt.
That's it.
With charges like that. I mean, pretty much, because if you pawn something, you're going to have to provide your driver's license and your thumbprint. So it's a crazy charge. But
he's another one that wasn't dealing in T-shirts. You know, he needs a shirt too. That was one thing he didn't take.
John is not smart, man.
No, come on.
And our final wanted fugitive is Octavia Wilson. She's 5'6". She's 120 pounds. She's 35 years old, and she's wanted for grand theft and fraud. And Octavia has a bond of $10,000. And
it seems like everybody on the list today has a problem with stealing, taking things that don't belong to them.
Theft, period. And
let's not let them get away with that. As a community, we have to say no, not okay. We've purchased our things legally. They are ours. It's not okay for you to come through and take it.
Absolutely.
Not okay.
And for that, you know, you've got to be held accountable. Remember that these wanted fugitives are wanted as of January the 4th. You want to be sure and review the past shows. And at any time you recognize anybody, do the right thing, call Crime Stoppers.
Absolutely. Well, I guess it's that time in the show we need to get started on our deadbeat parents.
Yeah, and that's just as bad.
If not worse sometimes. Okay, our first one is going to be Kurt Forsyth. Say that 3 times fast. Yep, so he is apparently with a purge of more than $2,000. That's a very, very high purge, and actually it's the highest one of the show that we have right now. He also has some active warrants. So, Kurt, man, you just,
you know,
there's some issues going on there.
A purge amount that high, you really just need to, you need to go and address family court to let them know your situation. You just don't let it keep tallying.
He's probably not wanting to show up to court because of those warrants.
Yeah, probably not.
Too. Just, if you know Kurt, let's go ahead and turn him in. Then we've got Katina Grimsley with a purge amount of $570. You know, a lot of people always think that the deadbeat parents is going to be a man, and that's not always the case. Those females make this list all the time too. So if you know Katina, just tell her, you need to pay this up. You need to turn yourself in. You need to do the right thing. It doesn't go away. And again, you can talk to the court systems. Everybody gets down on hard times. You can let them know your situation, and they can help with that purge amount.
Absolutely. You got to pick up the phone and talk to them.
But you got to be willing to show up and speak. Well, then we've got Stephen O'Hartley. Stephen has a purge amount of a little more than $770. Stephen, it'll just keep growing.
It sure will.
That's it. They just keep climbing. Then we've got Stephanie McSwain. Stephanie has a purge amount of $413. You know, Stephanie, tell her to turn herself in, or you do it. Get that money. And the thing about when they turn in deadbeat parents, isn't there like a...
Yeah, it's an automatic $150. And that is a great hourly wage for maybe 2 minutes worth of work?
Easy.
It's very easy. That's easy money.
$150 right in your pocket. You can't beat that. Jimmy Lewis Oat is our next one. And a purge amount of $670. He doesn't look happy there. I wouldn't either if I had to pay all that. Then we've got Nathan A. Phillips with a purge amount of $470. He's got quite a scowl as well. then DeMarcus, or if I'm saying your name wrong, you can always give us a call. Demarius Robinson. I'm not sure. DeMaurice. I'll try. DeMaurice, maybe.
One of them.
One of them. Either way, you see his picture, you got to recognize him with a purge amount of $320. If you know anybody that we've discussed today for the deadbeat parents, I just want everybody to realize that it's the children that are really suffering from this. They're not getting that money that they're promised or that they need to make sure they've got a roof over their head, to make sure they've got food in their little bellies, to make sure they've got clothes on their backs, to make sure they're getting the right education or child daycare.
It's just a responsibility factor for me.
It is.
I mean, no child asked to be brought here, but it's our responsibility as adults, and we as adults have control. If we're not ready for that responsibility, then you just don't have kids. Yeah, it's simple.
So just again, you recognize anybody, please do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers or tell them to turn themselves in and get it taken care of. Those purge amounts, they don't go away. You can't ignore them. They're always going to be here.
Yeah.
But we do want to remind people that we have a lot of upcoming events here at the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. We've got our Neighborhood Watch Academy that's coming January 15th, and I love this academy.
Me too.
We get a lot of tips from our neighborhoods, everybody out there. We don't know things unless stuff gets reported. So the deputies can't do their jobs unless they know things are going on. And part of that is people watching out for their own neighborhoods and getting together. So if you've ever wondered about a neighborhood watch or what it takes to put one together or how hands-on you necessarily have to be, because a lot of them aren't that hands-on. People always think you've got to be like Barney Fife and, strolling the neighborhood, late at night with your flashlight or whatever. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. So you get to meet other neighborhood watch programs that have been put together here in Escambia County. You get to learn from that and see what might work for your neighborhood or your community, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful way to go. And again, that's going to be January 15th, and we provide you a meal. Yeah. So free food you get to sit through, and again, we don't expect you to start one if you sit through it. It's just a good informational.
Exactly. Community policing is one of the most effective ways to control crime in a neighborhood or a community. And it's all about partnerships, citizens' partnership with the police, and we really make a positive change.
And a lot of times, like you'll see neighborhoods put together their own neighborhood Facebook pages, which are wonderful. It's a great way for you to get to know your neighbors and communicate and see like, hey, I've got this I'm trying to get rid of. Anybody in my neighborhood want it? Or, hey, I've noticed a car in our neighborhood that doesn't seem to belong there. So we do encourage those. We also want to warn people that if you do have those Facebook pages or social media pages, we're not following them. Right. We don't know what's going on in your neighborhood until you make that report. So please, if there is any kind of criminal mischief or activity going on in your neighborhood, not only warn your neighbors about it, but make sure you've contacted your local law enforcement as well. So we're up to date with it as well. So then we've got safety in the place of worship, and that's going to be on January 22nd, and that's another great event. Yes. Where if you have a church or synagogue, any kind of place that you like to gather to worship, and you want to know how to make that area safer while you're there with your people communicating and
really good tips.
It's great. It's great, just how to handle security and everything else. So please come in. There's a lot of other religious organizations that do like to take advantage of this. So we really do promote it. Again, you get fed a free meal while you're sitting there.
And good information on the concealed weapons permits and the requirements under state law. So it really goes hand in hand. Good information.
Great questions come out of this one. A lot of questions and stuff that you might have been wondering for a while, and they'll be answered right there in that meeting.
That's right.
Please, if you're wanting to attend, go to our website, escambiaso.com. You can sign up there, or you can always call the front office at 436-9630 and ask for David Craig, and he can point you in the right direction. And then we have our Citizens Law Enforcement Academy on January 31st, and that's going to be an 8-week course.
That's the bigger one.
Yes, and they meet every Thursday night. And you get fed every Thursday night, but that one's fun.
Yes.
You get to teach during that
Yes, I do teach the Crime Stopper portion, and it is really good, and they do something different every night for dinner. You definitely won't need to go home and cook for that.
No. And it's just a way for you get to learn more about your sheriff's office. So you get to talk to patrol and homicide investigators and narcotics, and you get to go through an active training that we do here at the Escambia County Sheriff's Office that most of our deputies go through. So you get to learn more about what happens inside your sheriff's office. You get to learn about programs that we have and any kind of questions you may have had about the Escambia County Sheriff's Office or law enforcement in general, hopefully can get answered during that. So any of these programs, our Neighborhood Watch, our Safety in the Place of Worship, our Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, any of that seems like something that you want to be a part of and you want to learn more about, you can hop on over to our website at escambiaso.com, or again, give us a call at the front office, 436-9630, or you can email us at pio@escambiaso.com and we'll help you get those questions answered.
All right, we hope you've enjoyed the show, and we will see you here back next week. Have a safe week.